This is the Happyrun G60 Pro e-bike. It has a 1000 watt rear hub motor with a 48 volt 25 amp hour battery. It features 20 by 4 inch tires with fenders, full suspension, hydraulic disc brakes, lights, blinkers, and a large non-adjustable seat. The pedals are also foldable. It requires this NFC card to turn it on. Let's go ride it. Okay, let's see how fast this thing goes. Going to use throttle only, and I'm in assist level 5. You can see the cruise control already kicked on. Happens pretty quick, and you don't even need to use the throttle anymore. It will just give you full power. I'm up to 27. I'll hold it wide open to turn that cruise control off, and it's up to 29 now. Oh, there's 31. I think that should be the top speed, so that's how long it takes to hit 32 now. Slight uphill is probably going to slow it down a bit, and down to 30, 29 on this one here. It flattened out, and I'm back to 31, 32, cruising pretty quick right now. It is pretty loud, actually. The motor makes some noise when you're cruising that fast. Get a bit of a hum going. The first time I rode this, the cruise control definitely threw me off. After a few seconds, maybe 3 to 5, it does beep to tell you that it's on, and there is an icon, but I didn't know that at first, so it just kicked on. I don't think I heard it. Maybe it was windy or loud and didn't realize it. Used a little bit of brake, let off the throttle, and it kept going, so I wasn't ready for it. Almost crashed. It's definitely something you want to keep in mind and know how to shut off. To shut it off, you can either let off the throttle, grab it again, or use the rear brake, but you can't just use a little rear brake. You have to use it enough to disengage it, and using the front brake doesn't do it, so definitely something to keep in mind and try to remember before your first ride. The cruise control might not be a big problem if you're just cruising on the road for long distances, but out here on some lanes, when you want to slow down and speed up using just the throttle, it can kind of get annoying at times, because sometimes you forget about it. You just go to let off the throttle for a corner and it keeps going. So you have to remind yourself that you need to grab the brake even if you don't really need it. If you want to slow down at all, you can't just coast into it. So something different, not my favorite. I wish there was a button or something else, maybe a setting you could change, and maybe there is, but definitely not quite used to having that option on all the time. I did look in the manual and I didn't see anything about changing the cruise control, but maybe there's a secret menu in there somewhere. I will say the seat is pretty comfortable. I'm just cruising, I'm not pedaling, so I'm just using the throttle. The seat height is too low for me to comfortably pedal, so I won't be doing that much on this bike. And the suspension is doing an okay job over these bumps. It's not super rough, and it's a little bouncy. It does make some noise. The rear derailleur and stuff like that does clank around on some of the rougher bumps, but it can handle a bit of off-road usage anyway. Let's see what kind of speed I can hit off-road now. It is not completely flat, and there's a bit of grass, a bit of wind. I was just hitting 20. Might be able to get a little more out of it with less wind. There's 21 on that small little downhill. And a little further down, actually hit 24. So it was still trying to pick up speed as I went down that path. Now let's see how agile this thing is. Got a bit of a figure 8 slalom course between these trees. And see how quickly it can cruise around a little track here. It does feel pretty different. That front end, it's not something I'm used to. It's pretty out there in the handlebar position compared to your seated position. It's just different, but something to get used to. I can hear the tires gripping in the grass, so they're hooking up pretty well. Keep thinking it might slide, but it just continues to grip. And I can turn around these trees pretty quick. Acceleration isn't too crazy out of the corners. As you can tell, it bogs down a little bit as you get back on it if you don't keep your momentum up. Not much sand left here, but let's see how it handles in it. See if I can climb this pile of sand. Nope, sure can't. Maybe if I stood up and pedaled, but I'm going for the lazy route on this bike today. Definitely struggled a bit up that small hill. Should be able to make it the other way though. Oh yeah, fat tires in the sand, gotta love them. Okay, here's one of the bigger hills on our property. Let's see if it can make it. It's struggling pretty bad already. I don't know if it's gonna pull me. I am so close. I just need a couple more feet. Just thinking about it. It's cutting out a little bit. It's slowing down, but it makes it. All right. It's about as steep of a hill. It will pull me up, I think. I'm heading to a gravel path and got a bit of a headwind here. Now I'm only able to hit 26 at the moment. Okay, I think this is probably where this bike is going to be most at home off-road. It's just a gravel trail, nice and smooth, nice and flat, super comfortable and stable to ride on this. You don't have to go as fast as it can go. You can kind of just cruise at a nice leisurely pace and enjoy nature out here. But should we see how fast it goes? Probably. Go wide open here and see what we can get up to in the gravel. Hitting 26 at the moment, 27. Seems like that's about all it can do right now, going this way anyway. It might be just a slight uphill, so I'll see what I can get on the way back. Okay, going this way, I'm up to 29, so cruising pretty fast, almost as fast as the road. Okay, I'm back to the same spot I did the speed test earlier, but now the battery is low. It's only showing 1 bar after what says was a 14-mile ride. Definitely went by faster than I hoped. I'm hitting 28, 29 now. I'm not sure if I'll hit 32 or 33. We'll see. Don't have too much more time to see if it can make it. It's topping out right around 30. I was definitely hoping for more battery, but I am using Assist 5 and throttle only, so that's going to use it the quickest. I just lost the bolt that holds this fender on, so maybe that was loose and that was some of the rattling I was hearing earlier. Definitely should have done a nut and bolt check on this before riding it. It has been going back and forth between 2 and 1 bar, so the battery is not completely empty. You'll have to see how long it takes before it actually stops, but there are 5 levels of battery life, and it's showing 1 to 2 depending on how much power I'm using at the time. Okay, it is definitely slowing down now. I am in the same spot on our lane in the grass, and I'm only able to do 16 here now. Okay, it did end up making it up to 18, so I got a little more speed out of it, but not as much as I had earlier. The acceleration is also noticeably slower now. Okay, I just got the flashing dead battery signal, and I was only able to go 16 miles based off of the odometer on the bike. I was definitely hoping for more there. Hannah's turn now. How's it feel so far?
Not like a bicycle.
No, it's a hybrid, but you look sweet. Let's see how quick you go on it. Is it comfortable?
Yeah, it's like a motorcycle a little bit, like a bicycle motorcycle.
See some more speed.
At 20 now.
How about I see you turn around, see how it handles when you have to turn tight and go the other direction.
Alright, you want me to try now?
Yep, see how those brakes work. Oh, a little quicker braking than I expected there. I almost hit you. But easy enough to turn right around. How about a little slalom back and forth? See how agile it is if you're maneuvering it side to side a little bit. Just cruising for fun. But maybe there's some dogs or some cones or something you gotta dodge on the street. There we go. You look so cool. Bet you're having the time of your life, a happy fun time.
Oh yeah.
And we're in the woods, but I got a challenge for you. See if you can go down, turn around, and come back up without any speed. I hit this hill, but I had a bit of a run. Let's see if she can handle. Oh, nice balance there to save that one. See if it has enough power with no run. It doesn't look like it, but it's trying. That was a good effort. Maybe some pedaling there would have done it, but a little dab will do you sometimes.
That was sweet style.
How's that control at the bottom there?
Wasn't too bad.
A little challenging, a little stutter in the throttle maybe?
Yeah, that's something I would say, but my trial skills help that.
Now she's going to do it with a run just to show that it can make it easier than it could for me, that's for sure. Coming in hot, into the sand. Test out those fat tires, she just cruises right through it. How does the size feel for you?
A little big for me.
A little big, a little hard to get on. Let's see, you step over. Yeah, you can't quite touch flat-footed when you're sitting on it, doesn't look like.
I'm 5'4".
Yeah, just a hair tall, but once you're on, once your feet are on the pedals, you should be pretty comfortable, right?
Yeah, because, I mean, you don't really pedal this bike that much, I'm not gonna lie.
You can, it's just not the most comfortable.
Yeah.
See how those brakes work on the grass. Oh, the tire's hooked up well, no skid for you. How's it feel off-road for you?
Kind of like you're on a hybrid motorcycle.
Suspension work good enough?
Yeah, good enough, I would say. Like,
besides that one big bump.
yeah, that one bump kind of didn't feel so good.
This trail's pretty smooth, so it should be able to handle it no problem. She's getting crazy now, taking some of the motocross track. See how it handles these jumps. Not going to get air. I wouldn't recommend jumping this bike very much, but might as well take it off-road and have a little fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
While not everyone is going to notice or care about this, the build quality is not great in my opinion. The frame is not perfectly symmetrical side to side in some areas, and the welds could be better. I don't know if all of the frames are like this, but if you don't see it, it probably won't really matter while riding, and it should still hold up to the mellow riding that it was designed for. There was also some play in the rear shock right away, so hopefully that doesn't get any worse. If you don't mind some imperfections, it can be a fun bike to cruise around on. It is probably more at home in town, but it can also be taken off-road to some extent. If you want to pick up one for yourself, check out the link in the description below.